Hey, peace to the family wealth club. Peace and wealth to you. I just want to have a video that is centralized for you. We have this information in one place, and we're talking about the Urban Renaissance Project. Really, two projects, but the latter one falls inside of this one. The latter one being the Historical District Project. All right. So many of you are very familiar with what I'm talking about, but again, I just want to have one video where you could just refer to. Okay. So the Urban Renaissance Project deadline to get into this will be April the 15th. Okay, April the 15th, nothing less than $1,000. All right, and I'm gonna show you why. All right, so again, I'm going to tell you now is the time to invest in urban America. The first quarter of 2018, the average profit of a home sold that was remodeled was 68,500 gross profit. Okay, and I'm actually show you that urban cities across America are being revitalized at a fast pace. JP Morgan Chase will have 150 million invested in urban Detroit by 2019. You can just type in Urban America Fund, JP Morgan Detroit. You will start seeing information on that. And then also Trump has signed something called the Tax Cuts and Job Act, where the federal government has declared that the urban inner cities are opportunity zones, whereas business owners and investors should spur job creation and economic development by investing in these areas. Okay, so investors will only pay 10% federal tax if one takes their capital gains from an opportunity zone to flip and reinvest it straight for 5 years. You pay 5% for if you keep the money in there for 7 years. And if you keep on going for 10 years and more, when you decide to take the capital gains out, Uncle Sam doesn't want anything. You couldn't ask for anything greater for a real estate investor, because a lot of times real estate investors are paying over 35% in federal taxes. Okay. And so to take nothing or just 10% is a game changer, and it's really setting you up for long-term growth. Okay. The real estate, I had a conversation with my dad the other day, and we was talking about something. We was talking about business, and somehow Trump comes up, and Trump messing up the stock market, and that's what it was. My dad has money inside of this, got money inside of a certain mutual fund, and he's been taking a beating, and he's blaming Trump. And then he don't want to show his tax record. Every president shows his tax record. I said, yeah, Hillary Clinton said the same thing, and Donald Trump politely cut her off and said, that makes me smart. Because she was like, yeah, he don't want to show you because he never paid his taxes. And we know he don't pay federal taxes because when he registered for a casino in Jersey, he had to disclose that, and that's public information. He don't pay no taxes. And he said, yeah, that makes me smart. And it does. And, my dad was like, yeah, to beat the system. I said, stop saying that. It's not about beating. It's not about beating the system. Y'all make it look like somebody's doing something wrong. I watched a biography, and I know all of this ties in. I watched it wasn't a biography. I watched a interview of a guy who wrote a book about Donald Trump, right? And the guy had to interview the top tax attorney in New York City, and the tax attorney told him that if you're inside of a real estate family and you pay federal taxes, the person who is preparing your paperwork, whether it be attorney or a real estate tax advisor, whatever, they should be sued for malpractice. And I was like, damn, because there's just absolutely no way that you should be shelling out money. And it's not beating, it's about really understanding what you can do. Okay? So this opportunity zone is a major opportunity to create short 5 to 10 years, because that's not long, short to long-term growth. Okay? All right. And so here is our very first purchase in 2017. I like to refer to this because it's just from experience. Purchased it for 65, held it for 5 months, sold it for 79.5, so almost made 15,000 in gross profit. So at that point, that's like what, getting paid $3,000 a month just for sitting on it. But I knew it was a winner, picked it, and sold it, and held it, sold it for another investor to come in. Although this currently says it was listed for $289.9, they sold for $249.9. So they almost made $250 off of this when they finally resold it. And to be honest with you, I think the person who bought it, I don't even think he walked away with a 40 to 30, maybe I would say probably about 30,000 tops, because he told me what he paid for the property and how much he put into it. So he just got his money back and made a couple thousand off of it and whatnot. But no big deal, because he owns the one right next door to it. All right. And so I just wanted to show you that this is absolutely real. The second purchase is what we're wrapping up on right now. It's the one I had to fire the contractor on and whatnot. So we finally got a new guy in there. Had to redo the plumbing, not major, but we did have to redo the plumbing and some things. Putting a fireplace inside of the wall, electric fireplace, is going to be pretty dope. Estimated profits on this could be anywhere from, it's going to trim down now, could be anywhere from 60 to 90. Okay. Very, very real. At the time, our first projections was anywhere from 71 to 96. Okay. So this is very, very, very real. Okay. Learned a lot in this process right here. This third one that's still in contract, they're asking 65, rehab would be 60, be 125 all in. The ARV around here is going for 230 to 240,000. Gross profit could be anywhere from 105 to 115,000 gross. Okay. And so this is like tremendous opportunity, real life deals that we're in. Okay. And so the Urban Renaissance project is what's going to fuel and feed the historical district project. Okay. So let's look at the historical district. All right. Our plan is to invest in both businesses and residential properties. Our first one is within historic Dayton View is where it's at. We're going to restore the properties to the historical prestige, along with updating the interior to modern and high-end finishes. Our plan is to be the catalyst that will create new community and economic value. Now, this is very, very important here because, again, here's another one I handpicked that I'm ahead of the curve. On this slide, I like to focus on the bottom because that's where the property is located at. And they have already hired a college, paid several thousands of dollars to get the data to figure out how much expendable money was in the immediate area. So the proposal is to make our district the food, recreation, and entertainment zone or corridor. Okay. So it's a lot of money within expendable money that's within the neighborhood. All right. It's a new market that's coming. They're going to knock this down and build this market. It's $4 million. This is what the market is proposed to look like with some storefronts on it. Okay. Here is an email that actually shows that 10 to $15 million is coming because it's me talking to the president of the society, and he's telling me that, hey, pretty much I can't share any details with you right now because everything is in pro forma right now. But what I can tell you is 10 to $15 million project is in the work, and projects of this magnitude take a lot of time to develop. Okay. And this last sentence says, hey, as we continue to work with the city of Dayton and Citywide Development Corporation on the redesign of Salem Avenue corridor in anticipation of 2021 to 2023 for the major design, where they're going to pretty much change the structure of the street. I add a bike path and make it more neighborhood friendly, outgoing to cater to the new development. Okay. And so this is really a time to buy because now you got firsthand information of, development is coming. Okay. So 10 to 15 million is in the works. So here is a overhead view of of the design of what you see. GCM on the right hand side is where the market's going to be. Future is a condo across the street, a bistro. And then where it says future, this is just a lot of open land and opportunity right here on these lots to build something. All right. I actually had my eyes on those lots before they bought them. Here's an overhead view that they actually created to put an idea where these lots and these bistros and Gem City Market is going to be at. And this is where our first historical property is at, where it says deal 1 in comparison to, as you can see, the end of the block of where the market is going to be. Okay. So let's look at our first historical district. In 2000, this property sold for $480,000, as you can see. And in 2004, it sold for $445,000. And now, as you can see, on May 24th, we have it for $18,470. And the goal is, now that we know that $10 to $15 million is coming, a new market is coming, new development, the street's going to widen up some and whatnot, we're ahead of the game. The question that I'm asking you, and that you should be thinking as an investor, will be, well, shit, what if the market just corrects itself and this value comes back to match $400,000, almost $500,000. This is the reason why I bought this particular property, because it's a matter of time. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if it don't happen in my earthly time. It could be for our children, because this is about long-term growth. This is about understanding market, understanding how to buy up a lot of stuff when it's cheap. And then if you're in that position to do it, and then when the market turns around, you can sell it all off and scale up and get on your way. We have to get on our way to financial independence and create this wealth. Okay, it's the whole purpose of the Family Wealth Club. All right. This is our approved color plan, because anytime you do anything to the home on the exterior, it has to be approved. So we're going to go with a pretty nice mint green is where we want to go. This is actually the Prosperity House. Okay. The goal here too, with this big old building in the back, is to turn that into a private supper club. Okay. That's the goal. A private supper club, members only. And the downstairs is a full service spa. Okay. Excuse me. So whether you have the, anything dealing with spa and grooming, and whether it be massage, whether it be the float tanks, manicures, like the whole nine, a full service spa, a salt room and whatnot, it's going to be dope. Like, this is the purpose of this, to have it as a private membership only type of thing. Okay. All right. So here's deal 2, the second one. That we purchased in the neighborhood. Got this for a little over $5,000. Realtor at the time was saying, hey, you probably get 102, which I think is kind of high, but just to show you that, hey, you know what I mean? It's possible, right? It's very possible. The goal with this home is to fix it and let it be the beacon of the community, since it's about to turn around, and allow this to be sort of like the model ideal house. Hold it, cash flow it through Airbnb and whatnot. And then right price come, exit out of it as well, because we got a bigger project in the neighborhood that we need to be focused on. Okay, so potentially want to exit out of that one. Here's the approved color plan for it. We'll go with like a peach. That lot that's next to the property, we want to really start the foreclosure on that, because it takes about a year to do that for only $500. The owner owes back taxes on it. Once he don't pay it and he wants to relinquish it, basically we have to come up with about another $2,000 to $2,500, and we can get the whole plot of land. And the goal is with that is to help out the local market with food, and build that relationship with the market, build that relationship with the local community who may want to come and garden And then one side could be for members, us, where you say, hey, I want one of these, I want one of these, I want one of these. And then, there's a caretaker that's there that's going to handle the harvest and the food, and you can come up and get it, or at the end of the harvest can box it off and send it to you. But it's for us to get into our own agriculture by, one, dealing with the community, and two, in feeding ourselves. Okay. And so this is going to be quite interesting. Here's an overhead view of where the properties are in relation to each other, deal 1, deal 2, and also in relation to the entertainment corridor area where majority of the new building is taking place at. Okay. Now, relationships are very important for us. As you know, we have the governor's mansion was given. I still can make a move on it, but I'm just not, because I got my hands full, to be honest with you. But I don't want to miss this opportunity. This is amazing freaking opportunity and whatnot. But I'm not going to even get into this opportunity. But this is what the house looks like right here. Also, here's an overhead view of where the house is in relation to our two deals and in relation to the new redevelopment zone. And also there's new builds right behind us, the street over. Okay, and those new builds are not technically in the historical district. However, the mere fact that they are new builds and new development is coming, such as the Gem City Market and things of that nature, that's flanking and supporting this new redevelopment that's going on. Okay, I can't stress enough to you guys how, like, I literally, before I bought the property in May, the big one, I was looking at the neighborhood just like this and just looking at it like from the standpoint of a developer of what can happen. And that's why I bought, because it was so cheap anyway. But understanding the empty lots on the big main corridor is like, man, it's just a matter of time. This is longevity anyway, and it happened within a couple months. I got word like, yo, they building at the end of the block. I'm like, okay, perfect. Okay. And so that's that. All right. So the conclusion is price increases on the way due to new development. We established a relationship with the Historical Society where we was offered a governor's mansion for absolutely free. Okay. Properties are still below the value, which is the value in that neighborhood is like $35,500. It's like way below. I'm getting properties for $5,000, right? The new bills, of course, support the historical districts just one block over. All right. And so the thing with the Urban Renaissance project, because this is urban, but this is the historical district, is I don't want to put money straight into rehabbing, because then the value is not there for us to exit right now. So then it's just money to fix it. But then it's like, okay, now what? What I like to do is let's invest inside of the Urban Renaissance, where we just do a flip where those average profits are 60,000 plus, and then start taking the profits from the project and let the profits fix the historical properties. And then once the historical properties are done, guess what? We still got the original money in the flip. Now we can start putting money in our pocket, and we kept our original money alive. That's the strategy. Excuse me. That's the deal. Okay. So again, April the 15th is the deadline for us to come together and say, hey, I'm putting up in this pot. This is how I'm doing it, because I'm going to either whatever it is, either we're going to have enough to buy and fix, or it's going to be enough to get in on a purchase. Okay. And we're just going to make it happen. All right. It's literally how we started back in 17. It's how we got started, and we up and moving, and we at that place where we, it went from one, and then I'm constantly moving and networking and making it happen, that we went from one, the first one that we sold, to 2 historicals in one flip with another one in contract. Okay. And so it's all about scale. And the way we're going to scale is we got to realistically, come together and make it happen. Okay. So April the 15th, bare minimum 1K, bare minimum. I mean, you need to really go all in. I mean, all in. You can ask Jew, I'm all in because I understand the payoff from this. I don't have time to leave. Like, I'm so aggressive with it as far as my strategy that because I'm 41, right? So I don't damn it, I ain't got time to not be making it happen. All right. So I ain't gonna preach to you. April 15th is the deadline. Nothing less than $1,000. All right. Peace.